Hello, third grade, and welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 2, the United States and its regions. We're going to be talking about the different regions of the United States in this lesson. Now, the United States is broken up into 5 different regions that we're going to discuss. We're going to talk about what the climate is like in those regions, what kind of vegetation or plant life there is, things that grow. And we're going to describe some of the resources that we get from those different regions. Now, before we start, I want you to go ahead and answer your essential question right here in the corner. It says, what defines a region? What do you think? So what do you think it is that makes a certain area become a region or make us refer to it as a region? Once you've completed that, I want you to go down here to words to know and circle the words that you know, put a question mark next to the words that you don't know. So there's no right or wrong answer in this section. I just want to know what you think up here and to get an idea of the words that you're already familiar with. If you don't know any of them, that's okay as well. You can put a question mark next to all of them if you need to. Now let's read together at the top. Pretend you've traveled to another country. When people ask you where you're from, how do you answer? Maybe you say, I'm from the United States. Or you name your state. The United States is a big country. It has 50 states and not everyone knows where yours is located. How would you tell people where to find your state in the United States? So again, this section right here, use complete sentences to describe how you would tell someone that you live in the state of California over here. So what would you use to describe it or to help someone kind of imagine where in this big country you actually are? Please remember to use neat handwriting. If you're typing it, you can put in a text box and type your answer in here. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. This is just asking how you would describe it. Our country has many landforms such as mountains, hills, valleys, and flatland. Landforms are part of geography and the effect that people and they affect how people live. Water is a part of geography too. People adapt to the landform and water in their communities. To adapt means to change the way that you live. People change the way they build roads, tunnels, bridges, and buildings. It gives them a job to work, but it might change the amount of trees that are left standing. Water is one of our most important natural resources. People use water from lakes, rivers, and ponds for drinking and to grow crops. Most Americans use about 153 gallons every day. People also use rivers and lakes for transportation. Large boats pull or push barges up and down rivers to move things from place to place. Rivers and lakes are useful for transportation, so many cities are located near rivers. Now over here, we're going to read through this section and then we're going to work through this area up top with the map. One country, 5 regions. The United States is divided into 5 regions. A region is an area on Earth with common features that set it apart from other areas. So common features means there's stuff in that area that's all the same, that's different from another place. The 5 regions of the United States are the Southeast, the Northeast, the Midwest, the Southwest, and the West. So this is the Northeast up here, this area. This is the Southeast. This up here is the Midwest. This is the West, and these few states down here are the Southwest. Areas within a region usually share similar types of landforms. They share common climate too. Climate is the weather in a certain area over a period of time. Regions also have their own types of vegetation. Vegetation is the kind of plants that grow in an area. Regions have landmarks, which are important places or objects. Landmarks can be natural or man-made. In this lesson, you'll learn about the climate, vegetation, landmarks, and other physical features of each region in the United States. So now let's take a look at this area that says Map and Globe Skills. Number 1, write a title for this map. So you're going to label it right up here. Number 2, use the map key to color each region. So here are the different regions that we talked about. Again, we said this is the West, this is the Midwest, this is the Southwest, this is the Southeast, and from here and up is the Northeast. So you're going to color it according to the colors that they have over here. If you don't have those exact colors, try and find a color that's as close to it as possible. And number 3, in which region is California? So you're going to write the name of that region over here. Once you've completed that, we're going to move into the next page, and we're going to begin reading about the different regions. The first one we're going to talk about is the the Southeast. That's this region down here. We give you a nice little map that breaks up the different regions and colors in the one that we're going to be working on. Let's begin our journey in the Southeast. What is the climate like? Is it warm and humid? Does it sometimes rain? In the Southeast, the climate includes mild winters and hot, humid summers. There's a lot of sunshine, but the region also gets quite a bit of rain. Did you know that the region's climate affects its vegetation? That's because different types of vegetation have different needs. In the Southeast, the mild climate is perfect for growing crops like oranges, peanuts, rice, and cotton. In fact, the Southeast has thousands of orange and grapefruit farms. These fruits grow well in the region's mild climate. What other vegetation have you seen in the Southeast? Over here we have one of our pictures with a caption under it. It says oranges grow well in the Southeast mild climate. Here we have a map of this region, of the southeastern region of the United States, with our map scale, our compass rose, our capital cities with the little stars, and some landforms where we're seeing the rivers and lakes. We also see the Appalachian Mountain Range over here that runs through the Southeast. For number 1, label the states in the Southeast. So you can actually go towards the very back of your book and you'll find a map with the names of all the states labeled, or you can look them up online. You're going to put the name of each one of these states on the map. For number 2, use the map to describe the physical features of the Southeast. So take a look at the map and list what you're seeing over here. What are some of the physical features? Remember, physical features talk about the land and the water that's in the area. We're not talking about the capital cities. We're not talking about landmarks. We're talking about the actual earth when we're talking about physical features. Now we're going to move on and talk about natural resources and landmarks found in the southeastern region of the United States. The Southeast has many natural resources. A natural resource is found in nature and is used by people. Coal mined in the Southeast is used in power plants. The coal helps create half of our country's electricity. Trees found in the Southeast are an important natural resource. Cedar trees are used to make fences. Phosphate is also found in the Southeast. Phosphate is a mineral that farmers use to help crops grow. The Southeast is one of the world's largest producers of phosphate. The Southeast has landmarks too. Landmarks can be natural or man-made. One natural landmark in the region is the Florida Everglades. The Everglades is one of the largest wetland areas on Earth. The Cape Henry Lighthouse is an example of a man-made landmark. This lighthouse was built along the Atlantic coast in Virginia over 200 years ago. Its light helped guide ships along the coast of our new nation. So we're going to take a look at some of the pictures and the captions, and then we're going to go into the directions for this page. Phosphate is a natural resource. So over here we can see that they're mining or they're digging for it. The Everglades is a natural landmark in the Southeast. So this is something that's already part of the earth. This is not something that somebody made. So this is a natural landmark. And over here we see a man-made landmark. So something that had to be built there, which is the Cape Henry Lighthouse. Now up here, underline the natural resources that come from the Southeast. So remember, anything that's there from the earth already that people didn't have to put there, go ahead and underline those on this page. Once you're done, we're going to move into the next region of the United States, and we're going to talk about the Northeast. So we already finished up the Southeast down here. Now we're going to talk about these states up in the northeastern region of the United States. Now let's look at the Northeast. The climate of the Northeast is different from the climate of the Southeast. The Northeast has cold, snowy winters and rainy springs. Summer can be very hot or mild, depending on the year. Since the region is close to the Atlantic Ocean, it gets plenty of precipitation all year long. Precipitation is the moisture in the air that falls to the ground, such as rain or snow. So whenever we're talking about precipitation, we're talking about something coming down from the sky to the earth, where we're talking about rain or snow or hail. Any form of rain or water or liquid that's coming down to the earth is called precipitation. All of this precipitation helps the vegetation in the area. The region is full of forests. Some trees, such as pine trees, stay green all year long. Other trees, such as maple and oak trees, have leaves that change color in the autumn. Other vegetation in the region includes apple trees and crops, such as pumpkins. Now here at the bottom, reading skills, compare and contrast. To compare means to look at how things are similar. To contrast means to explain how things are different. Use the graphic organizer below to compare and contrast the resources found in the Northeast and those found in the Southeast. So the ones that are just in the Northeast, we're going to list here. The ones that are just in the Southeast, we're going to list here. And the things that we have in common or that are the same in both areas or can be found in both areas is going to be right here. Take a minute to go ahead and fill in your graphic organizer, and then we're going to move on to read about resources and landmarks of the Northeast. Trees are one of the region's most important natural resources. They're used to make items like furniture, paper, and pencils. The Atlantic Ocean is another natural resource in the Northeast. Most of our country's lobsters come from the cold Atlantic waters. The waters also provide crabs, oysters, and fish for our restaurants and dinner tables. Other natural resources found in the Northeast include granite and marble. Granite is used to make kitchen countertops. Did you know that the Northeast has one of the country's largest waterfalls? Niagara Falls is a group of waterfalls on the border of the United States and Canada. The natural landmark runs power plants that provide electricity to thousands of people in the Northeast and parts of Canada. More than 750,000 gallons of water rushes over the falls every second. The Northeast has man-made landmarks too. One example is the Statue of Liberty located on the east coast of New York. This landmark is a well-known symbol of freedom. Now over here it says, write a caption for the picture. So remember, the captions tell us what's going on in the picture. So put a name under this when you know what this is called. List the name for it right here. This is a map of the northeastern region. Number 1 says label the states in the Northeast. So again, pull up a map with the states or go to the back of your social studies book and you'll find a map with the states already labeled and write down the names of the different states here. Number 2, what symbol represents Pine Creek Gorge in Pennsylvania? So you're going to draw that right over here or write what it is. And number 3, draw a symbol for Niagara Falls in the map key. And then draw your symbol on the map too. So we don't have a symbol for Niagara Falls here, so you're going to make one up, and then you're going to label Niagara Falls right here also in the box. You're going to make that same picture that you made here. You're going to make it right there. After you've completed this page, we're going to move on and we're going to talk about the Midwest. The third region of the United States is the Midwest. 4 of the Great Lakes are found in the Midwest. These freshwater lakes are important natural landmarks in the region. They also affect the region's climate. In the winter, winds pick up moisture from the lakes. The moisture mixes with the cold air to create snow. Many cities near the Great Lakes get a lot of snow in the winter. Like the Northeast, Summers can be hot or mild, depending on the time of year. The Midwest has many interesting man-made landmarks. One of the most famous is Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. It took workers almost 15 years to carve the faces of the 4 presidents of the United States into the mountainside. The Gateway Arch is another well-known Midwest landmark. It's the giant metal arch located in St. Louis, Missouri. This landmark is known as the Gateway to the West. It's one of the tallest national monuments in the United States. So over here we see our picture, and we see the caption tells us that this is Mount Rushmore. This is the Gateway Arch. We see the label for it right there. Reading skills, analyze visuals. Why is Mount Rushmore both a natural and a man-made landmark? So take a minute to think about this. What makes it a natural landmark? And what makes it a man-made landmark? Now we know this is natural because that mountainside was already there. So the mountainside is part of nature. So that's what makes it a natural landmark. But when they were carving the rock to make it look like the different faces, know that that's what made it a man-made landmark as well. Resources and vegetation. The land between the Appalachian and Rocky Mountains is known as the Great Plains. Much of the Midwest lies in this area of low, flat grassland. The soil here is very rich and one of the region's most important resources. It makes the land great for farming. Crops such as wheat, corn, and soybeans are grown on farms throughout the Midwest. Cattle, pigs, and chickens are raised on farms throughout the region too. Another natural resource found in the Midwest is iron ore. Iron ore is used to make steel. Steel is used to make cars, bridges, and buildings. In fact, steel was used to make the Gateway Arch. Let's take a look at our map and globe skills. Number 1, label the states in the Midwest. So same thing, go back to your map that has the state names, put the state names in these different states. Number 2, add a symbol for the Gateway Arch to the map key. And number 3, circle the symbol for the crops in the map. So find the symbol on the map that shows what, all the symbols on the map that show crops, and circle all of them. Once you've completed that, we're going to take a look at the Southwest. So we've gone through 4 of our 5 regions so far. When you think of the Southwest, you probably think of deserts and hot weather. That's because the Southwest is known for its hot, dry climate. But if you were to travel throughout the region, you'd want to pack mittens and an umbrella too. The Southwest can be cold and snowy, especially in the Rocky Mountains. It can also be warm and rainy near the Gulf of Mexico. Vegetation. Many different types of vegetation grow in the Southwest. Most of the plants that live in the region's deserts can survive in sandy soil and on limited amounts of water. The saguaro, a giant cactus found in the Southwest, stores water in its trunk. It has thick, tough skin and can survive the long dry season. Wildflowers do well in areas that get more water. Pine trees grow well in the region's colder climates. Landmarks. The Southwest is also home to the Grand Canyon. This canyon is one of our country's most famous natural landmarks. The canyon is very deep, has steep sides, and stretches for 277 miles. It was formed by the Colorado River over thousands of years. One of the largest dams ever built in the United States, the Glen Canyon Dam, is also in the Southwest. This man-made landmark generates electricity that powers several states in the region. Natural resources. The Southwest has several important natural resources too. Minerals such as copper, silver, and uranium are mined from the ground. Another natural resource in the Southwest is oil. Workers drill deep into the earth and pipe oil up to the surface. Texas, the largest state in the Southwest, produces more oil than any other state in the country. Map and globe skills. Label the states in the Southwest, so put the names of each one of them in here. And number 2, Which direction would you travel to get from Glen Canyon Dam to Wheeler Park? So here is Glen Canyon Dam, and here's Wheeler. And using your compass rose down here, decide what direction you would have to go in, and then label that, or sorry, write that down on the line right here next to number 2. Now under here, write captions for the pictures. Underline why the Glen Canyon Dam is important to the Southwest. So put captions for these 2 pictures, and then underline where we were talking about the Glen Canyon Dam, what makes it important to the Southwest. Okay, now on to the Western region. The West extends from Alaska in the north to Hawaii in the south. Some areas are hot and dry. In fact, the driest place in our country is Death Valley in California. This desert gets about 2 inches of rainfall each year. The West also has the wettest place in our country. Mount Waialele in Hawaii gets almost 500 inches of rain every year. Different types of cacti, grasses, and wildflowers are found in the region. Farmers grow strawberries, lettuce, and other fruits and vegetables. The Olympic rainforest is found along the Pacific coast in the state of Washington. It contains many different types of trees and mosses. Wood from the natural resources there is used to build houses, furniture, musical instruments, and other items. So over here, when we're talking about the West, you'll notice that California is part of the Western region of the United States. Number 1, label the states in the West over here, and remember to label this one as well. And number 2, which ocean is north of Alaska? So take a look at, this is where we've got Alaska. Figure out which ocean is to the north of Alaska and write it down on the line. Landmarks. What is the highest point in North America? The answer is Mount Denali. This natural landmark in Alaska is 20,320 feet above sea level. Another natural landmark in the West is Devil's Tower in Wyoming. The national monument may have been formed by an ancient volcano. One of the most famous man-made landmarks in the United States is the Golden Gate Bridge. Millions of people travel to San Francisco, California each year from all over the world to visit the bridge. Use the information in the paragraph to label the pictures. So you're going to go ahead and label these pictures based on what we read. Describe the vegetation in the West. So go back and reread what we talked about, and you can write about the different kinds of things that grow in the Western region. And our last part for lesson 2 is our essential question. What defines a region? So go back in the reading, you can rewind the video and see what we said defines a region. After you've completed that, we're going to go back up to pages 2 and 3 at the very beginning and fill in the part that says lesson 2. All right, after each lesson, come back. After lesson 1, label the countries and color the map. After the other lessons, fill in the boxes with information about the physical features, landmarks, climate, vegetation, and natural resources of each region. You'll use your notes in the unit project. So we read about the different regions of the United States, so you can write about those over here. You can list some of the physical features of the United States, different landmarks that you found interesting, the climates that we have, some of the vegetation and natural resources found in the United States. All those are going to go right here. Once you've completed all of that, you can go ahead and jump into our Unit 1, Lesson 2 quiz. Please remember to put your full name and date on everything. Use your very best handwriting and always try your best. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye, 3rd grade.